Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm your host, Veteran Mountain Man, and today we're going to actually discuss hidden taxation. Now, some of you won't really understand what hidden taxation is off the get-go, but it's pretty simple. It's taxes you don't even know you're paying because you never see the paperwork on them. And there's a lot of different taxes that you end up paying in the United States, especially in this day and age. A lot of these taxes have been pushed by progressives or taxocrats or even Republicans who like government pork, i.e. government spending. And on this Regulatory Tuesday, I definitely want to bring forward a hidden tax that is actually being increased over the next few years and got its first major bump this year. And that is actually the Portland payroll tax for TriMet transportation. That's right. In the city of Portland, because of the TriMet system, there is an income tax on every employee's wages. And the current tax rate is 0.7437% of their wages. And that's total wages before federal taxes, not after, before state taxes, not after. So almost 1% of your income goes directly to TriMet. TriMet is the city's mass transit system. It's a public transportation system. It is buses and light rail and a couple of streetcars, bike paths, and all sorts of other stuff. And they charge for the use of these buses and commuter trains and light rail and streetcars. And yet, the whole thing is not funded by the sales of tickets and the actual people moved around, but based off the income earned within the transit district. Now, many of you may be thinking, well, hey, that's just Portland, Oregon. The rest of Oregon, everything must run on its own. And, these other cities that have these mass transit systems, they can't be nearly as bad. And they must have some form of mass transit, right? Well, that is true. Actually, the problem is that the state of Oregon requires that certain urban communities have mass transit systems. And all of them are paid for out of payroll taxes. None of them actually turn a profit or operate on their own budget without payroll taxes. So all of these mass transit systems are basically government entities operating as private businesses. And it's rather disgusting, realistically, when you think about it, because they're getting government money and then they're operating like a business and they're not stable. Portland, in and of itself, has had TriMet service restricted, condensed, reduced, all while spending hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars on light rail projects that don't move enough people around. And so you basically end up picking winners and losers when you do this kind of stuff. And down below, I'm including actually a direct link to the TriMet.org tax info webpage, as well as the article from the Oregonian discussing what the actual tax increase for TriMet is over the next 10 years. Because it's not going to stop at the current level it's at. It will eventually be 0.8237% instead of the originally what it was 0.7237%. So they're raising it a whole 0.1% over the next 10 years. And there's no benefit from it because it's still operating at a huge deficit. Why? Because it doesn't have to operate effectively. This article goes all the way back discussing how the different increases were phased in and what's going on, but it doesn't talk about it in its entirety. And this article is a bit older because this original taxation update was issued back in 2014. But it's also something that's been hidden from the consumer, from the actual resident. I mean, yeah, there was a vote for it, but the vote was never really clear. A lot of people didn't realize exactly how the TriMet tax was implemented. Why? Because most people can't actually understand the tax code. And this is why the United States in its entirety needs comprehensive tax reform. It needs to start at the federal government. We need to overhaul each individual state, each individual county, district, whatever. But America needs to get away from the tax and spend model. We need to reduce government, and we need to push more individual liberty. Well, thank you all again for joining me. Please remember to upvote and follow me on VidMe, or thumbs up and subscribe on BitChute. You can also like and subscribe if you're catching me on YouTube in syndication. Don't forget, on YouTube, you will find some of my videos demonetized or in limited state. So if you can't find them, if you text me or email me at one of my social media sites, I can send you your link. Thank you all, and don't forget to have a great day.